All right. Yes, we're still thinking about acid. Still tweaking the 303s. My voice is low today. What happened? Actually, I know what happened. Something about... I don't know. I won't go into it. Maybe I'm a little under the weather, but I feel all right. Let's see. Who's in the chat? Who was first? Luminous Cloud, asking about who the secret guest is going to be for the feedback session. We'll get to that. What's up, Functor? Stereo Decor? Eatsy? Kenny Toin? Jean-Paul Bondi? Always with the nerds. We're all a bunch of nerds. You don't have to rub it in, Jean-Paul. Jaja. It is live. It is. Exact. Hey. What's up? What's up, Larry? Nice to have you. Jean-Paul. Yes. We should talk about JD Twitch. Definitely. Those of you who don't know. All right. Just to have a little moment there. Let's bring it in. Welcome, everybody. It's that time again. It's Saturday. And we're hanging out, and we're playing around with stuff. We're playing around with plugins and making music, and we're into techno and electro and acid. That's what I've been on an acid kick lately. We're going to keep doing that today because we're warming up for our feedback session coming up at the beginning of October. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, this is the usual 343 Labs. It's always Techno Saturdays thing going on here. It's always a nice part of my week to chill here and make music and talk to you guys, and always enjoyable. And as always, I'm here in the content studio with the green screen behind me, so you can't really see where I am. It's been a while since I've done like a non-green screen setup. I feel like I need to do that. But I need to tidy up in here. It's a little messy. That's the real reason, right? Like, why do I use the green screen? So I can hide the mess. I just need to make it look cool. Hook up all the gear, get all the lights flashing. Yeah. And also, this is one of our rooms here at the school, 343 Labs Music Production School, and we're just starting another round of our one-year program. Met a bunch of the new cohort yesterday at orientation, and we also congratulated and celebrated a cohort that was graduating right after that. And it was cool to have the incoming students hang out and then meet and greet the students who are moving on and getting their certificates and moving forward and getting, making some connections, hearing about their experience. And it was nice to have some of the family members and friends come with our students that were getting their certificates. So yeah, really nice evening, and really glad to be a part of that as a mentor and help run the program here. So if you want to know more about that, you know what to do. Links below, find out what courses we've got going on. Most of you are out there in the world. You're not all here in New York City, obviously. So we do stuff online, and maybe do a techno course with me one of these days. It's like we have an online, 6 course. Meeting once or twice, a couple times a week, something like that. And anyway, that's enough about all of that. I want to mention JD Twitch, Keith from Optimo. Sad news that he has passed away. And at my age, 50s, knowing people for a long time, and especially with COVID happening and like people getting older, and this sort of sad news is coming up more often than not lately. And I don't know. I just want to do, make my little, I just want all of us to acknowledge that this guy, Keith, as part of, Twitch and Brainstorm. That's how I knew about these guys back in the 90s. They were DJing together, and they were like early supporters of what Oliver and I were doing with Disintegrator. They used to play our tracks, especially Carousel. That was a big track for them back in the day, and it always really meant a lot to me that they were there in the beginning of the rave scene there, and like supporting us and playing our music. And then I finally got to meet them, and Keith, many years later, hear them DJ, and then even they gave us an opportunity, my friend Elliot and I, an opportunity to do a remix for Chris Carter from Chris and Cozy. So, like, eternally grateful for that opportunity. And anyway, I just want to pay my respects to this really amazing guy. So everybody, give him and his family and his friends a thought and send out some love for Keith McIver, JD Twitch. All right. So switching gears, we're thinking about acid, and we've got our acid feedback. Look, I made a thumbnail. I never do this. We're all gearing up for this acid feedback session. It says Techno and Electro, but it doesn't have to just be Techno and Electro. It's just got to have that 303 or 303-like, very deliberately acid style of synth, right? It needs to be acidic. It needs to have that trippy, squelchy, crazy rubber band or distorted kind of, you know what I mean? What we love about acid, right? It's just got to have that feel, that vibe. Easiest to get it with an actual 303 or a clone of a 303. And, it could be hard and banging and ravey. It could be deep and chill and trancey. I'm actually kind of going in a deep direction today. We'll see. It could be ambient, IDM, experimental. It could be banging beats. It could be house, right? So we're not limited only to Techno Electro, but it's got to have the acid. So that's the thing that we want to focus on. And, we've got a couple more weeks for everybody to submit. Look at that. Acid feedback session, October 4th. Submit your tracks by, I put October 2nd so I could have like the day before to go through them. If you submit on October 3rd, I'm not going to deny you. Just don't submit it on the morning of the 4th. I need to have a minute, all right, to get it all in order. So yeah, but try to do the 2nd. And if you haven't joined the Discord already, most of you have, I think, the guys, you're all regular viewers, right? Link down below to join the 343 Labs Discord, and it should take you to the Selway feedback channel, which is where you will post your submission. SoundCloud is easiest. SoundCloud leaks, you can just play them. But if you're if you don't like SoundCloud or you don't have an account and you just want to use some kind of other file sharing, as long as I can grab it and play it easily, should be good. Nice. So, what are y'all talking about? Who is in the chat? Anyone new? Hey, Italian Gold. Simple Sam is back. Very nice. Marcus Roper, welcome. And Doug Smith and Luke DeFrost. And Ifta's the guy that does that Sting sequencer, right? But there's also a 303 that he made, and I've tried it. It's cool. I feel like it's a little simple sounding for me. Like I want a little more detail, like from the real 303. It's missing a little bit of that kind of dirty, gritty weirdness of the 303. But if you want like kind of a smooth, clean acid sound, I think it's very good for that, and it teams up really well with the sequencer. So yeah, absolutely, good suggestion. Here, I'm gonna highlight your post because everyone should check out Ifta's 303 plugin, Slippery Slope. It's very nice. But I'm going to be using, I've got, where is my Ableton? I was using ABL, Audio Realism Baseline last time. I'm going to keep using that. There it is. And, I like I'm taking it easy today. Last time I was trying to like carefully recreate and reprogram an acid line from my old flashback track, the Disintegrator kind of jacking acid track. But this time I'm taking it easy and I'm using the randomizing feature and to just generate something. And then when I hear something cool, sticking with that. I've got, I should have set up an overhead camera, but I got a MIDI controller here mapped to the knobs because it's just absolutely imperative with Acid that you tweak it. And you can do it with automation, but when it's much more fun and easy to use your hands and have two knobs at the same time, it's way more dynamic and fun to play with the sound using knobs in real time rather than drawing envelopes. So we've got that going on. And I've got a kick drum, and then I've also got the Roland 303, which has a different vibe. That's another thing I realized. You know, every real hardware 303 or true analog clone of a 303, all of them are different. There's always an imperfection in the circuit and the filter and the oscillators. They all, you know, my 303, original 303 doesn't sound like my friend Abe Duquesne's 303, doesn't sound like my friend Zach Prozac from back in the day. He has a 303, which he named Death Dealer, actually, and it just had this heavier edge to it. And then Abe's has got real deep bass, and mine can be bassy, but it has a little bit more of a mid-range kind of vibe to it. So like all these different hardware, especially the old ones, they all have a little bit of imperfection, and like one 303 doesn't sound exactly like another 303. And what I remembered, which I was playing around with before I started, is that here, let's switch to the big screen so you can see. There we go. That, you know, the ABL has, it's literally like almost more. Yeah, look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 models. So that's literally like 4 different types of 4 different variations on 303. And then there's also oscillator models that you can switch between. So 4 times 3 variations of different types of 303 tones you could get out of this thing. Some of them are more thin, and some are more resonant, and some are more low and deep and bassy. I think that's awesome. Just this one plugin can be like a bunch of different 303s. And I think that's also cool because if you were to want to make a track with like a lot of acid lines in it, that's something, you know, back in the day when we always used to think of like, oh, what if we hook up like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 303s, make like a 303 orchestra or something. I don't know why everyone's so into this synth. It's got, someone last week was talking about like, I don't understand the cult of the 303, and I'm like, I don't know either, but whatever, it's fun. So yeah, you have, you know, between all the variations, you could have like multiple different sort of tones going on, you know, with your 303 parts. You could use a fat bassy one for your bass line, and then you could use a more thin resonant one for some trippy kind of higher frequency thing. And then of course, all right, so there's that, and then in the random generation that I'm doing, and then the other thing is the effects, right? Last time it was just real simple 303 and distortion. This time I'm going to be a little more, I'm thinking atmospheric and deep and hypnotic, and we're going into like delays and granular and reverbs, and I kind of want to see how much expression I can get out of the 303 tweaking in combination with the effects. So yeah. Welcome, Christina from Denmark. Nice to have you. Who else is here? Bass Kittens. All right. Nice. Good to have you here. We got Exact. We got Jean-Paul Bondi. We got Bass Kittens. We got some peeps in the house. Nice to have you. And hey, what's up, Aaron? Aaron 303. Very appropriate because that's what we're doing. We're playing with the acid sounds. TI-80 Mark, welcome back. Let's hear what I've got. I'm going to stop talking and start playing. So let me get rid of the effects here for a second. Let's actually get rid of the kick drum. Real simple. You know, and I just generated this. I'm in the random view of the ABL3, and I set my root key to G. Why did I do that? I don't know. Because the 909 kick drum original tuning is around a G. Or an A flat. It's close. It's right there. That's why. Just, I don't know why. And, you know, the sliders here determine how many notes, variations, how many times they're triggered. Slide will, you know, determine whether they not only slide but sustained if they're the same pitch between steps, and then you got your accents, right? And I don't know, I don't want to mess this one up, so I'm just going to leave it. And as aforementioned, I've got the can't see my hands, but you can see I'm modulating two parameters at the same time. And that's really, it's all about that. It's just playing with the expression of that pattern. And then I've got a really generic kick drum going on. But I like it. I might beef it up later. I'm just going to keep it simple. We're concentrating on the 303s today. I mean, that's pretty good, right? I could have written something like that myself, programmed it note by note, but the generator in this thing is just too good. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So a couple ideas for effects that I was playing around with. The first one is I just pulled out. I hadn't used. I always forget to use my Arturia effects. I've got them all, and I so often just go to the live stuff and just construct things. But every now and then, it's fun to just throw something that's got character on and see what happens. And that's what happened today. And yeah, let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's doing that kind of beat repeat-esque 16th note. I already really like what that's doing. And this is pretty much a preset, but I changed the filter to this SEM filter that has resonance, so I can get kind of freaky with it. Ooh. It's really kind of hardcore when you put the resonance up too high. That's going to be fun to play with. I need a knob for this too, so I can tweak it while I'm tweaking the 303. And the feedback on this thing is pretty intense, so I got to watch it. That's good. It's almost too bright. I probably need to put a compressor on that. Tweaky, acidy, trippy. That's what I'm going for today. That could be the whole track, right? Just real minimal, hypnotic acid track. I feel like I need a hi-hat. What do you think? Should I go old school classic drum machine hi-hats, 909, 808, 606, etc.? Or should we look for something more kind of precise or modern or random? Huh. I'm going to save this. I was looking for pads earlier. I got to save that search. Y'all remember that, right? You can do like the similar sound search and then save that over here in your browser. That's very, very useful. Anyway, let's find some hi-hats. Closed hi-hat. Analog. Oh no, synthetic maybe? Let's see what we can. Okay, no. I don't need those decap sounds. Sorry. No disrespect. I like that 808 short one. That's nice. First impressions are good. The other day at 343 Labs, I usually host the Ableton user group here at 343, and we were like building up a remix. We used the stem separation and we used the splice integration that's in the beta. I'm not using the beta today, and we were like looking for samples, and everybody's like, just pick the first thing you hear. Don't think about it too hard. Just grab whatever. And so that was like the challenge. Just like as soon as I searched for something, just the first thing that comes up, throw it in. Don't let sample surfing slow you down. Just get it out and see what. You can always delete it and replace it later or fix it if it sucks, you know. But just do it fast. I'm gonna do. I know. I was like, do I do the eighth note upbeat hi-hat or do I do a rolling kind of hi-hat? I'm going to do the rolling kind of hi-hat. said I was going to put a compressor on this because it's kind of popping out there a little bit too much. I feel like compressors are important for using the 303, especially if you want to sound kind of clean and modern, because the levels go all over the place, up and down when you change the filter and the envelope settings and everything. So just to grab it a little bit. Another thing, I don't know if you hear like that big accented one, it's kind of clicking. And that's really cool. That's authentic for a 303, but I like the feature if I want it to sound smoother. I have it off actually, but you can turn the VCA clicks off, and they're especially noticeable when you're playing bassy notes, low frequency with the filter down. You hear this popping and clicking between the notes. So if you want it to sound smooth and clean, you can get rid of those clicks. But anyway, in this case, I think it's just an excessive accent, and I can't remove the click from that. I don't care to. I'm just going to leave it. Squash that a little bit more. I want to make it so that when I filter it all the way down, it's not too quiet, and when I bring the filter all the way up, it's not too loud. Perfect use for a compressor, no? Unless you want to really be aggressive and you don't want it to be that smooth, then don't do it that much. Okay. I have another effect going on here, and this definitely goes a long way to helping an acid track sound modern, is using more crazy modern effects on them. A delay is one thing, but sending this into some granular stuff, I was really, looking for taking the rhythm and the pattern and the tone, of the 303, and then generating something spacious and whooshy and atmospheric from it with effects. That's also part of the kind of vibe here, is that like the effects are instruments, right? They're layers in the arrangement. So now I have this kind of rumbly, dark, granular, I don't know what's going on here. And it's a preset with some pitch shifting in it. I feel like I'm channeling Abe 2K today. Some of his jams, he's been live sort of analog synth and modular jams he's done lately are kind of this vibe, but with some melodies on top. We might get there, we'll see. Maybe that hi-hat needs some kind of flangey thing, maybe. Can't go wrong with the flangey thing. Ooh. I like it, but let's tweak it. A little bit of a stereo offset. Slow it down a little bit. Zero. There we go. A little more stereo offset. That's what I want. What does that sound like through the granular? That's another thing, like back in the day, making tracks, acid tracks, and all I had were like two synths and a couple of effects, and everything goes and through one mixer, and you're sharing effects between instruments for sure. So like it wouldn't just be one. I would have one reverb with multiple things going into it, for example, or one delay and multiple things going into it. So I like doing that, like deliberately putting things. Ooh, See, like, come on. Just occasionally a little throw over the hi-hats into that granular pitch shifting thing is great. Absolutely gonna do that. Who knows? Who needs more? We need more, don't we? I'm fine with this. This is great. All right, the kick drum's too low for the granular. That didn't do much. Now I just need to have some like deep voice, like, where is your child? Where is your robot? What did the robot do to your child? Oh, no, sorry. All right, I haven't talked to you guys in a little while. What are you talking about here in the chat? Let's see. Yes, Electro G's in the chat. That is right. Let's see. 707. Jaja's mentioning 707. That would be cool. I could get some old school sounds mixed in with this as well. Go back to the drum machine thing. Sandor says use some random metal for weird drums. Hey, that's a good idea. That's another plugin that I bought. I was psyched about and that I barely ever use. Okay, that's, it's outside of the scope, the acid scope, but maybe we need some crazy whoa, what's happening? We need some crazy drum sounds at some point. So that's there should we choose to implement it. Thank you for the suggestion, for the reminder. 606 808. Yeah, I mean, I put a sample of an 808 hat in there. Yeah. Okay, good. Sorry. Show me where Bass Kitten says, show me where the robot touched you. Wrong. Bad. No. Okay. All right, I'm having fun. I could just do this for an hour, I swear. Could meditate on 303, whatever. You know what I might do? I'm gonna put that compressor. It's sounding, I like that it's so thick and compressed now, but I think it's squashing the delay in there too much. I'm gonna put the compressor before the delay. That'll help it be a little more spacious. I'm gonna raise my threshold a little bit too. I could also go back. I could go to RMS. That might make it a little more dynamic, but still control the overall level. Oh, I forgot. I also have my. I mapped the pitch, the tuning, which is dangerous, but also really cool. It's great that my Novation Launch Control XL has the indented encoder there, or controller there, so I can get back to the right pitch. So much expression, I love it. Let's go. Octave lower, Jim. Sounds good for a more serious, heavier part of the track. Ooh. This is too much fun. The hi-hats do the grain thing is so cool. All right, that's all good. That's like a whole thing. That's like most of the track. If you think about all the old school acid tracks that are just 303 to drum machine and that's it. we just need some more percussion, right? We need some snares and claps, and maybe I will. Let's see if we put in a 707 and do some excessive snares. All right, I've got the Roland one, but I'm gonna make it easier on myself and just use the sample drum thing, because turn off all of these. There it is. 707 core kit. You could take one of these processed ones, maybe. Huh. Oh, those are really crazy processed. All right. That's really compressed. All right, I'm gonna take that one that's like super processed. I don't know, just so it's not too clean and dry. Let's see what happens. Oh, loud. We're in Chicago. Let's make that less repetitive. I mean, more repetitive, sorry. Do a variation on this hi-hat. It's just open, not the open, the upbeat, you know what I mean. All right, I'm not sold on that clap yet, but it's something. We're just layering in some stuff. We'll work it out later. Do it at Selway. All right. Where's the snare? Is that excessive? Kind of going with the 707 and the jacking thing. It's kind of going in a different direction than I originally anticipated, but that's not wrong. It's just a thing, right? I can always switch course later or do another version. Maybe I should do. Maybe it's just this over-processed. It's too squashed, right? Maybe we want it dirty. Do we want it dirty? More overdrive? I'm not sure about that snare. I'm using the 707 because someone suggested it. And I know it can be mixed better and it can be worked better, but I'm gonna keep it subtle. I'm happier with that. Oh, almost forgot about this again. That's where it gets weird, right? Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think again about the 707. We'll keep it simple for now. Jaja says snare on 5 and 12. So maybe there were too many. You just want it on the backbeat that we want? Oh, I see. That's not bad. Little syncopation in there. I'm okay with that. Very different without the delay, right? Bouncier. Could do both. But I kind of miss the cycling hypnotic thing with that. Brighter. We tired of this yet? Let's lose the kick drum for a second. Still not sold. I think the sound of that snare, the 707 snare, is not exactly what I want. Nice transition. Should be recording that. So, I want another 303. I think we need more acid. What do you think? Eatsy's asking which granular effect is on there. So it's fragments. It's the one I always use. This guy. Okie dokie. The snare is not, yeah, TIAD Mark, the snare is not meshing well with the rest of the elements. We'll find another snare. We'll figure it out. We won't get stuck on it for right now because what's important is that. Did I already? Okay. This was more like hard floor style acid bass, right? I'm going to map some controllers to this so we can play with it. We're going to have two 303s on the same controller. I'm loving it. Did I do that right? And this is totally a generated pattern in the Roland 303 plugin. You hear that sounds together with the other one. Do a compressor again. Oh, it's already kind of, because it's saturated and clipped inside the plugin, it's not going to get crazy dynamic. I'm going to have to practice now doing both 303s. That's a little bit much. And maybe like, all right, where's the delay? I think the delay's in, yeah, the delay's in the preset. Yeah, maybe just not as busy. So the distortion in this thing sounds pretty good, I gotta say. I'm gonna make the tone a little less so it's not as bright. Yeah, it's got that. This is very, very original 303 through like a guitar pedal kind of sound, like very legit, and it makes sense because it's a Roland plugin, right? They should be able to capture that essence. Hi-hats. What else do I need in this thing? I'm getting lost in it. Getting pretty tweaky. So acid. I think most of the time, that's a nice little vibe, just going back to the simple hi-hat. Like to make, when I make a track out of this, which I should, right? I should just do it, and not think about it too hard. Is just keep it simple. Like, don't go too tweaky. Just don't go all the way like, keep it more minimal and deep, and then creep up a little bit into intensity, but not go overboard. I think I would prefer that, not all like the resonance jacked and too much distortion. Now, I guess the challenge is, for me, given what I was wanting to do today, is can I add more 303 to this? Or is it already too much 303? Like what kind of, or do I even, another one is this the right pattern? Is it good enough? Is it energetic enough? I think it's bouncy, which they work okay. I like it when the one is octave higher, there's more space in between. Kozaps, what's up? Mike Dunn like vocals. Yeah, I could add some vocals eventually. Luminous Cloud is tripping balls. I love it. What's up, Jen Kalinowski? Jaja's still talking about the clap on the 5 and 12. All right, I'm going to come back to drums. Right now, I'm like acid, trippy 303 brain right now. I'm having a hard time thinking about good drum programming other than just the simple 909 going on there. And the simple hi-hat. Shall we add another 303 to it? I'm going to do another ABL. And do something. Okay. That's just the default 16 though, right? I changed it to a pulse wave. Let's go to random. I'm going to turn off some notes and randomly generate something. Let's go up an octave. That was accidentally good. Now, maybe we need it to be polymetric because both of these patterns are 16/16 notes. Let's make a pattern that shifts polymetrically, so it's creating variation across bars. So what are we going to do? We're going to go back to number of steps. There's 12. 11 is creating a little bit more variation. Let's hear how it sounds. All right, I'm going to change the model and make it a little bit thinner. Or try to anyway. There you go. It's not too much mid-range resonance now. It's kind of sitting bright. So that's a good thing to know about these plugins, is you can like shift the tone of it to fit. Right? I like that. And I could use EQ too, but this is giving a different character, so it stands out a little more, I think. Definitely different tone, different kind of a sound now. Yeah, it's definitely good with the square. Let me go back and look at these other oscillator models. That one's a little bouncier, rubberier. I don't know. That's kind of good. All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm not absolutely in love with this pattern. Let's see what else we can find. And let's give it some more notes. Put in some more slides in there. There's a lot of acid going on. Should we add 4? Wait, I'm gonna get rid of... Does this even work? Is this just ridiculous? I'm turning off the low one. Some funniness going on between these. Let's do fewer notes. Let's see if I reduce... lower gate. Higher chance of slide. Ooh. That's a little more like... I like the minimalism of that. That little wiggle. Polymetric. I'm just gonna leave that. I don't want to mess it up. I wish I could go up a higher octave. Can I? It's already all the way up. I'm just gonna leave it. I like it. Maybe it needs its own effect. What kind of effect should we put on it? Something ridiculous or something simple? Reverby? Let's put supermassive on it. Try some. We'll start with some presets and try our luck. Ooh. We wanted trippy. There it is. And it's also polymetric because it's doing something dotted. If it wasn't hypnotizing already, it is now. Is that going to be too much? That's a lot. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it's really kind of oppressive with that really, it has to be changing. With all that resonance. I'm into it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go back to the step. Yeah. I'm not even sure which note is which. There you go. I wanted a higher note. There it is. That's good. Really tweaky. We got this thing. Is that it? Is it hypnotic enough? Did we get there? What time is it? Let's take a break. It's really intense listening to that, isn't it? It's really like, whoa. All right. This is fun. 3 303s. We could do 4. Is that really a thing that we should do? Sky's the limit. I could have like 100 303s if my CPU could take it. One of these days, maybe we should do that. Just how many 303s can go at the same time and then just randomize them all? I feel like that's really, really dangerous. What are y'all talking about? Luminous Cloud. He's spamming. Another acid line, an octave lower. Layer the kick with a snare. Jack and snare. Jack the snare. Jack the snare. Jack the snare. Jack and snare. All right. Okay. Jack and snare. But how about just, we can go back to the, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Do I keep this deep and chill, or do I rave it up? You know? I don't even think it should be the snare. I think just claps. Like, and I'm not even sure I want 707, honestly. But here we are. I mean, yeah, you want pumping. That was dirty. Put that in here too, why not? I just don't like that. I don't like that clap. Maybe brighter. Hey, that's okay. We're back in, we're jacking now. Is that what you wanted? Is that making you happy, Mr. Luminous Cloud? Now we need like the big open hi-hat and the ride cymbals and everything, but it's nice and bouncy with the dotted delay on the clap. Too loud. What? there's that trippy, spacey thing in the back. Tuning that up and down could be fun. Although the delay and the reverb thing is weird, but yeah, definitely more drums. A little bit much on the delay on that clap, right? Okay. Then we got this. Get rid of that clap. I think I'm good. Not bad, right? Not a bad three acid line trippy thing I can shape into a track. I'm down with this. This is fun. I don't even want to stop, but I gotta stop. It's time to go. Let's wind it down. I'm gonna play with this one a little bit more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Ooh, the whatever the delay was doing on that resonance is great. Okay, that's it. Thanks, everybody. That was a lot of fun. The most 303 lines I've put together at one time in many, many years. Hope you all enjoyed the trippy ride, and thanks for hanging out as always. Lots of great suggestions. Let me just put this out there one more time for those of you who came in late. Acid feedback session, October 4th. Any kind of acid, but you know, we like techno and electro, but we also like house, and we also like IDM, we also like ambient and chill, and we like experimental stuff. And so as long as it's got that strong 303 vibe, right? Acid. Whether it's the original or clone or software or hardware, doesn't matter. If it sounds like what I've been doing today in some way, right? Cool. Get your tracks in by October 2nd. Join, if you haven't already, join the 343 Labs Discord. Go to the Selway feedback channel, post your submission there. A SoundCloud link would be great, but other forms of file sharing are fine, as long as I can easily grab it and play it. And yeah, that's it. Nice one, everybody. See you next time. Adios.